this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up!
Ah!
That's why State Farm is there, with car insurance for when things go wrong, but also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Marty Size or Michelle Rudolph in Albuquerque today.
At Gala Chevrolet, our master technicians service every make and model no matter where you purchase your vehicle. But that's not all. We also provide certified service on every GM model. So if your car's been acting a little funny lately or something just doesn't seem right, don't wait. Bring it in to the most modern service facility in the entire state and let us make sure that you're driving a vehicle you and your family can depend on. Service done right the first time, every time, right here at the all-new Gala Chevrolet.
The Barley Room, a proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
This is Coach Borrego of the Charlotte Hornets. Hello to all you parents out there in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I want to congratulate 38 years for the AYBL. You guys are doing a great job. You've shaped a lot of lives, young men and women, and you'll continue to do that. Parents, get involved, sign your kid up. It's a great program. It helped shape who I am today, helped shape me as a basketball player, as a coach. So get out there, sign them up. Have a great season. Good luck to everybody.
It's time to make your plans to be at New Mexico's premier annual sports event. The 13th annual New Mexico Bowl is Saturday, December 15th, high noon at Dreamstyle Stadium. I'm Jeff Symbieta, Executive Director of the New Mexico Bowl. Be with us as once again college football's bowl season kicks off right here in Albuquerque. Bring your friends, bring your colleagues, host your holiday party at the New Mexico Bowl. It's annually one of the most exciting games of college football's postseason. Bottom line, it's a whole lot of fun. Visit NewMexicoBowl.com or call 925-5999, the New Mexico Bowl, where bowl season begins.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Red Menace TV here on Proview Network. Leroy Lucero along with Michael Carlisle. Michael, how are you? I mean, you're traveling now, right? I mean, you had the football travels. I'm sorry, you have triple duty now, right? You traveled with the football team. Mm-hmm. You didn't do the basketball game Saturday because you were in beautiful Colorado Springs, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and then you come back, you have Lobo Talk, and then you also have the basketball game last night, as well as your regular weekly radio
My
show.
real job, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, you're a busy man. And you're here.
Dude, I've been busy since before football season started. I'm always busy.
I know, but you're like super busy now. I would say even more super duper busy as both seasons are now colliding together. Though, would you really call the football season still happening?
Super duper busy. Oh, yeah, there's 2 games left.
If they have a game and nobody shows up, was it really a game? It's kind of like if a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to hear it, does it make a noise?
But they've never had a game where nobody showed up. So your question would be invalid.
Okay, invalid question. I guess it's that week where there's going to be a lot of people. Well, of course, the Lobos play Boise State Friday night. This is CBS Sports Network?
No, this is a ESPN game.
ESPN game. So obviously UNM is going to get money for that. Or do they still do? I don't think they still do that anymore, right? So UNM gets to be on ESPN. 30 years ago, Lobo fan would have killed for a television game because it helped recruiting and blah, 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 blah. 2018.
And I lied. It is a CBS Sports
game. It is
game. I'm
CBS
sorry.
Sports game.
Yeah.
Okay. 2018, people are bemoaning the fact that nobody goes to the games because the games are on television. Which one is it, Michael? Is it just a reason to complain, or what do you think that is?
Yes. It's a little bit of everything.
Both. Very good.
It's a little bit of everything.
I mean, do you see that? I mean, I know you. Let's see. You came here in what year?
04.
04. Yeah, that's close enough. You heard people talking about, we'd like to be on ESPN. We'd like to be on, really showcase the football program, whatever. And then now, now that we are getting on, now that UNM is getting on national television, not all the time, but they get 2 or 3 games a season at this point. A lot of people use that as an excuse to stay home.
But that's not accurate. And is attendance really down right now? Yeah, it sure is.
Where's attendance?
Name me the last Lobo football season that attendance didn't go down as the season went along, even good years.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
When Franchione was playing for a conference title, right, or a chance to go to the conference title, whatever the deal was,
it was the
and nobody shows up.
Deal. Nobody showed up.
So, and look, it's bad. I'm not trying to deny that in any way whatsoever.
Right.
But fans always quit coming as the season goes along. Basketball season gets here, it gets cold, the games are too early, the games are too late.
It's too warm, it's too cold.
I got too much to do, I don't have enough to do. There's always a reason. And certainly it's a lot easier when the Lobos are struggling and they're on a losing streak and they've only won 3 games, as the case this year and last year as well. But this is sadly nothing new for UNM with football. People always quit coming as the season goes along.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to disagree with you on that.
The 9-win season a couple of years ago, same thing happened. Now, maybe not to this degree, but people stopped coming as the season went along.
So, I mean, and I know we've talked about this a while now with attendance, and we've talked about a potential buyout for Bob Davie. My good friend Greg Archuleta wrote an article on Enchantment Sports about can UNM afford to keep Davie. We've talked about the 1 point.
Unknown caller.
Oh, look, she got a phone call.
Yeah,
what a pro, right?
We hear.
Anyway, back to where I was, and I talked about this. The core fans, UNM has always had that core group of fans. At one point, I think that core group of fans was probably around 10,000. Would you say that? I mean, maybe.
Yeah, it's probably a little more than that.
A little more than that. Okay, let's go 10 to 12,000. I would say that. I would say in this day and age, 2018, that core group of fans has really dwindled. How many fans were there? I know what the announced attendance is, and we discussed this a little bit off the air. You said about how many thousand were there?
For what?
The last game. The last
home game?
Fresno. Oh, was it Fresno? I don't even know. It was
San
Diego State, sorry.
San Diego State, and they announced like 14,000.
Yeah, something like that. And you said you figured there was how many?
It was probably 7, 8,
7,000.
maybe 8-ish.
Part of what Archuleta talked about in that article, and you can catch that at enchantmentsports.com, is the fact that UNM now has worse attendance than when Loxley was here. 111, 111, 111.
And I read Greg's article, and I love Greg. I don't know that that's 100% true.
I believe it is true. I think
if you want to go strictly on butts and seats, I don't know that that's true.
Okay, well we'll have to look because I think season ticket sales have dropped every year.
Right. I didn't say anything about season ticket sales. I said if you want to go butts and seats,
actual people sitting there and watching the game.
Which people who quit going to games and then harp on the lack of attendance.
I am not
like to bring up the butts and seats. If you want to go butts and seats, I don't know that. That's accurate.
No. And I'm not harping anything. I'm just what my point is, and what I'm talking about is that core group of fans that we discussed was around 12,000. 10 years ago?
Well, look, just because
has now dwindled down to what? 6,000, 7,000?
Just because what you consider to be a core fan isn't going to watch a team that's won 3 games this year with 2 to go, I don't know that means they're not core fans anymore.
I'm talking about core group of fans that actually go and attend the game. Look, I'm not the only person that's saying I'm not going back until Davie's done. I'm not the only person that's saying that. I'm actually meeting quite a few people that are saying that now. They just,
and that's fine. That's your prerogative.
Absolutely, it is.
But you don't get to wallow in the joy of nobody showing up if you choose not to go.
I'm not complaining or calling that on anything. I'm just talking about the simple fact that the core group of fans, myself included, that have attended. I attended 1 and 11. I've attended with lightning games. I've attended where it's cold, freezing rain games. Aren't going back now.
But not when they lose. But not when they lose.
No,
you'll sit in the rain and lightning, but not a loss.
Look, I'm going to tell you something. If you're a Lobo fan of any sport, I don't care what sport it is, you're used to losing. You can't be a bandwagon fan and a Lobo fan. All right,
Okay.
It's impossible to be a Lobo bandwagon fan because there's nothing to bandwagon on.
Fair enough.
In the history of this program, there's nothing to bandwagon on. Both football, men's, well, maybe women's basketball a little bit because they did have the NIT and NCAA runs with Don Flanagan. So there was, the pit filled up then for the women's basketball then. So, anyways, you can never accuse me of being a bandwagon or not showing up when they lose because all I've ever known as a Lobo football fan is losses. There's a few years, I think, what was it? It's like 6 or 7 years that they've been a winning program.
Okay.
Yeah. So please, let's not go to the bandwagon. I think there's issues that are on and off the field.
I never accused you of jumping on a bandwagon. I'm saying you jumped off.
Yeah, there was no bandwagon to jump off of. It was just I was there.
What were you on when you were in the north end zone with your face painted and your sombrero and your lucha mask?
That was a group.
Your signs.
That was a group of friends that used to hang out. And if you notice, it's dwindled in the past 8 years, 9 years. There's not that connection that was once there. Whether it was Rocky Long, who was Dennis Franchione, we were on the west side then, but Dennis Franchione, even though he was kind of an arrogant sort of guy, he was still tried to connect with fans. Rocky Long was the king of, I think, trying to connect with local fans and trying to get people in, just by being Rocky Long. I think Mike Loxley even tried to connect with the fans, even though it didn't happen. I don't see that same thing with Bob Davie. And I think that's been a complaint of Lobo fans since day one. And I think the fact that they've lost, the fact that all the off-the-field issues and everything else has all compounded to where I'm saying that core group of fans has shrunk to the point where there will be 7,000 maybe Friday night, 6,000.
We'll see.
Actual butts and seats.
There's high school football going on as well.
High school football playoffs are going on. It's cold. It's going to be cold.
It's going to be near 60 on Friday. Now, when the sun goes down, sure, the temperature is going to drop.
Right, because the game's at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
It'll be on television, local television. Are you old enough to remember? Yeah, of course you are. When there was blackout games and it's like, if you didn't sell out the stadium, we're not going to show. All right. They didn't do that with college as much. And basketball season has started. And, they're losing. And, it's a free fall. And so and in good times, we've joked about this before, and I know I've heard you and Mike Trujillo joke about this on the radio show too. You joke about Lobo fans making excuses not to show up.
Right.
It's too hot, it's too cold.
Right. I just went through that. That's winning or losing.
Right, yeah.
Now certainly it's more, you're right, it's more when they're losing. And, 3 wins last year, you're at 3 wins right now with 2 games to go. And nationally ranked Boise State on Friday, and then next weekend, a Wyoming team that may well be playing for, a chance to go to a bowl game.
Right.
So, it's rough. I'm not disputing that in any way at all. My point is, attendance always goes down for football, wins or losses.
Yeah.
Certainly it's more magnified when you're losing. There's no doubt about that.
Now, there were some positives last Saturday. You were in Colorado Springs. That was a positive, right?
I like Colorado Springs.
Yeah, Colorado Springs, beautiful town.
Sure.
Was it chilly?
Game day, no. Friday when we arrived on Friday night, it was very cold.
You got to see all the planes and the flyovers and all that. That's pretty cool, right? So that's a cool place to go see a game. I know that.
It is.
Lobos played okay. I mean, I know they lost. Oh, hold on. Let me get back. What was the final score?
It was 42-24. Yeah.
42-24. Sharon Jones got back into the game. Looked pretty good. Davon, Vigilant, finally was given the ball, and he showed that he is a player. He is ready to, I think. I would have liked to have seen him get the ball a lot more earlier this season.
He's certainly in that game ran the ball better than any of the other backs. Sure.
Yeah. So I kind of was hoping he would get the ball a lot earlier this year, but he didn't. But that's fine. They're giving it to him now. So there's things to build on. Of course, the punter had the longest punt in Lobo history, so he got a little record book, and he was Mountain West Conference
Special Teams
Player of the Week. So it wasn't all negative, right?
No.
There's some guy that used to kind of looks like Alden, but his hair is cut really short, giving us this symbol.
We're not going to get a camera on that. We should probably just yeah.
Okay. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back after this with more Red Menace TV.
Swung it, back post, Hill's got the head off the post. The left footer put across and it's deflected. Here's the right footed shot, it's saved. Another right footer, yes! And Academy has put it 1-0. Down the line, Manifold's going to send one back. That's perfect on the right foot, and it's put in.
Trying to work past Sandoval. Sandoval got away with a shove there. Now it's forward, a shot, and it's through. An opening goal for Altavas in the 3rd minute.
On the left foot, tried to volley. Lewandowski could go right footed. It was poked away, still on it. It'll send one across the box. There's the left footer, and it's 2-0.
Martinez chips it forward. Dangerous again. The keeper made a mess. And he's gonna pay! 2-0! Down this counter. Trying to get to Hill. Swing and a miss on the defense there. And now Hill's got one more defender to beat. Hill's in front, a shot, and it's through! Hill puts the Sun Devils on the board. The fabulous 8th grader. Trying to get it through to Dubia. Eckenroth quickly ahead. Aldabas waits until O'Leary can catch up. He gets it to Seamus. Oh, what a touch to Sandoval. Can he slot it home? Yes!
Decides to run right by Collins. Cross. Into the box. It falls. Straight to Carpio. Carpio. 2-0. Mariner with a quick flick. Ball into the box, falls for Carpio. Carpio makes it 3-0. A brace for Anna Carpio in the state championship. Tries to chip it forward for Anderson. Anderson has possession now on the edge of the 18. Cross.
Oh man, this beat is crazy.
Falls to Carpio. Does she have a third? Carpio with the hat trick. Just before she hit it, and what a save! Sandoval sends it over. That's it. The Sandia Matadors are your 5A girls state champion. This ball served in back post. It's deflected. It's still loose. Top of the 18, they're appealing for a handball, and they're gonna get it. Barreras for the win! He has done it! The Storm are on top of the world!
Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at Proview Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club, or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Welcome back to Red Menace TV. Mr. Carlisle. Do you hear Alden talking back there?
Yeah.
I know. He's really giving us a rough one, right? Show's on? Oh, this is behind the scenes.
No, it's in front of the camera.
Hey, Michael, I did want to finish up with Lobo football and the game at Colorado State versus Air Force. Your thoughts on the game? I mean, you were there up front and personal. You saw the Falcon.
Well, it's this, it's been the same story we've seen the majority of the season. The offense struggled. I don't think I'm telling any tales out of school there, right? The defense for a while hung tight, but I've talked about this a lot. I've talked about it on the radio show. Time of possession is not the Lobos' friend, and Air Force had the ball 13 more minutes than the Lobos did. And what that means is the defense spends way too much time out on the field. And, this is a defense that's had issues with the pass. That wasn't a huge issue against Air Force. They only threw 6 times, although they were successful doing it. But when you're out there that long, plus you're dealing with injuries and guys out and whatnot, eventually you just wear out. And, there was a point where the Lobos were down 10 or 11, and they forced a turnover, and you think, all right, maybe they can make something happen. The offense was a 3 and out. Air Force gets the ball right back, and then they kind of pulled away. But when your defense is out there on the field that long, and you're already challenged from a depth standpoint and injury standpoint and all that, there's no way you can keep up defensively the whole game like that when you're spending 13 more minutes on the field.
Yeah, part of what made UNM's defense, I can't even say that with a straight face. Let me change this. Part of the thing about UNM and Air Force was always that the Lobos' running of the offense that they ran, that option offense, kind of gave them a leg up defensively because they'd seen that sort of play. They don't see that anymore. And that triple option really ground them down, don't you think?
Well, it did, but I think it was more than that, because it's not like there are a ton of new faces on the defensive side of the ball. All those guys practiced against a triple option the last few years. So, yeah, while the Lobos aren't running it this year, so maybe they haven't seen it as much this year, it's not like it was something new to them, and it's not like they didn't practice for it, leading up to the game. Look, Air Force is really good at being different.
Yeah, they run the ball with
Right.
the triple option, and it gives them. It always causes problems for the teams that they're going to play. Bob Davies said that a couple of years ago. Is like when you have to run when we're running the triple option, it causes problems for opposing coaches because they have to switch everything defensively that they've been working on to now work on this triple option.
You mean we have to be unique, we have to be different, we have to do something other teams aren't doing to be successful here?
Yeah. Rocky Long had the same thing with his defense when he was here. It was the same sort of thing. It was like we have this different thing that you have to change your whole.
Yeah. And that's the problem. And look, certainly the Lobos wanted to pass more this year, but the plan was never to completely abandon the triple option. You were still going to use it at times, but you were going to do other things because you didn't want to become too predictable. With injuries and whatever other reasons, they've been forced to abandon the triple option. So now they're just like every other team. They're just not as good as doing those things as most other teams are.
Well, hopefully they can put that together. I want to switch gears real quick because it is basketball season. And last night you were at the Pit, Dreamstyle Arena. The Lobos defeated the Iona Gales 90-83. It was a close game. I mean, it was
a good game. It was a very good game.
It was. Unlike the basketball program, there was like around 10,000 butts in the seats in the Pit.
I think that's what they announced. Yeah. 10-188, I believe is what it was.
And I'll tell you, listening to it on the radio, it was, I thought the crowd was loud. I thought they were pretty boisterous. I thought they were pretty excited. Lobo basketball is doing pretty well. They start the season out 2-0, a road win, and now a home win. And coming up, New Mexico State Aggies
New Mexico State on Saturday, Saturday at 4.
So you looking forward to that game?
No.
No?
Of course I am. What kind of question is that?
Well, I'm trying to lead you in.
No, not really.
Not really? Just
of course.
Something to do. Of course, Jans brings his Aggies in. And, of course, is there still that special? There's always you hate the Aggies and the Aggies hate the Lobos. But, is there anything, is that still like you stole our coach thing still relevant or not really anymore?
I think that's relevant. That's more relevant when the Lobos go down to Cruces, though.
Okay. So you still think it's a little bit of a thing?
Not absolutely.
As much here. What do you think? I've been really impressed early on with Manigault. Corey Manigault, I think, has really been the straw that stirs the drink this year so far. He's quickly developing as a go-to player. I think Coach Weir talked about Mathis and
Vance Jackson came up big last night as well. He had a double-double.
I'm sorry. Mathis and Kuiper being the closers.
Right.
But Vance Jackson and Manigault kind of, what would you call that, short relievers? I don't know.
Jackson had 18 points, 10 rebounds last night. Manigault had a double-double as well, 20 and 10. And, both those guys came up huge. Look, Kuiper maybe didn't have a lot of points. He had a couple of big shots late down the stretch. Mathis hit a big three. So you're getting contributions from a lot of different guys. But I think you've seen a lot of potential from this team. Keep in mind, in December, you're getting Bragg finally. So, this should be a really fun year for Lobo basketball. And I think you've seen it in these first two games.
I think with Mathis and Kuiper, and I think that, like I said, that's what Weir was alluding to, and I think we're seeing that. It's like when you need that clutch basket, those two guys are clutch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like you said, Kuiper didn't really do points-wise much throughout the game. But when they needed him, at the end, bam, money. Mathis, what can you say? He had a good game as well.
Sure.
It's kind of weird. It was kind of a quiet good game.
Yeah, 14 points. He was 4 of 8 from 3.
But when they needed that big shot, Portnoy was he was excited because it was a big shot. And
but Pinchuk had a nice game as well. He had 10 points and he had some big baskets that down low as well.
Now Pinchuk, the thing that's going to hurt him is he's still not hitting free throws. That's going to be a tough thing, but he is solid down low. I think Manigault also provides some really good post offense for the Lobo basketball team. He can post up real well. Obviously, Vlad has that. Look at me. I should say Pinchuk instead of using the nickname Vlad. But Pinchuk, I love the hook shot. I think that little hook shot's really underrated in basketball these days, and I think that's a good weapon that he can use. Really like that. Exciting. New Mexico State comes to town. What do you know about New Mexico State?
Well, I know they win the WAC every year. I love Chris Jans. I think he is a fantastic coach. I think this is going to be, look, It's your rivalry game, and it's the first of two. It's the one here. I think the fans are going to be pumped for the game. I think the players are going to be pumped for the game. And that's a 4 o'clock tip on Saturday out at Dreamstyle Arena, the Pit. It should be a really fun matchup.
I think it's going to be a blast. I'm going to try to make it out there. Unfortunately, someone I know is moving, and I kind of got volunteered to help them. Yeah. So look at me. I'm making an excuse.
How about Friday for the football game? Who's moving on Friday?
I already told. I'm moving Friday. I'm going to move from my car to my couch, and maybe to the refrigerator, and back to the couch, and I'll watch the game right there. It should be over by the first quarter. So I mean, it's not like, it's not like Boise's not going to put the hammer down.
That's the attitude. Yeah.
Look, I'm just calling it like I see it, dude. I've now moved from fan to media member.
No, you've moved from fan to a-hole.
I was always that.
Well, maybe.
It was just different angle. That's all.
Since you've become a college student, you've really changed.
Yeah, well, things become different. It's all about importance and stuff. No, look, I love Lobo football. I still do. I just don't feel it. I just don't feel it. We talked about this. Basketball is a great game. I used to go to the Pit a lot when I was younger. Lately, I've just enjoyed, for the past few years, just sitting at home and watching it. My viewing and how I go to games has changed completely.
Well, yeah, because you don't go.
Because I'm older. As you get older, all of a sudden, those steps down the Pit, you're like, not all of us have access to the ramp like you.
Oh, yeah, because the ramp's much easier to go up than the steps. The heck are you talking about, dude?
Didn't Rick Mancheris leave that little cart that you could ride up?
I've never seen a little cart.
You never saw the little cart?
Well, no, I've seen him do it, but I mean, yeah, there's a little
They're
cart.
withholding the cart from the great Michael Carlisle?
I don't need the cart. I'm just saying, it ain't exactly all, skipping down the yellow brick road going up the ramp, that's all.
Do they throw the rope like when we were kids with the knots that you like?
I wish they did, man. I wish they did, but no.
You could just sit there, I'm going to make it. I mean, do you sit there in your mind? Do you start thinking, I think I can, I think I can?
No, I just stop. I reach in my pocket. I pull out my phone like I just got a text or something. And I sit there and play on the phone for a minute. Like, all right. Then I'll go a little further. Pull out the phone again. Yeah. You got to do what you got to do,
Do you
man.
go to the press conferences?
No.
Because you got to wait downstairs for when Coach comes back down, right?
Yeah.
So he goes to the pressers and then comes. Is that the way it works?
Yeah, he has his post-game press conference and then comes back down.
Okay, all right. So you got to wait for that because you're working. You're not.
Exactly.
It's not like you're just goofing around.
I'm a busy man.
Do they bring you popcorn down on press row like they do at the football stadium?
They don't bring me popcorn at the football stadium either.
I thought they fed you there.
Right, they don't bring it to me. I got to go get it.
Oh, what about soda pops? Do you have to go up to the soda pop machine still?
No, they've got
people that you say, hey, kid.
No, they've got a drink machine there inside the press box. You don't have to.
Oh, at football, but what about basketball?
Yeah, no, you get something before you go down, or you go back up. I don't go back up till I leave, so.
So do you do the drink? Walk down like that just to make sure that you have it? Of course, you're not.
No, because then it's all tilting like this as you're walking down the ramp.
Of course, you're not speaking when you work, right? I mean, you don't say anything.
I'm using my mind.
You're using your mind, so it's not like you have to keep your voice nice and fresh and watered and your throat.
My voice is always.
You're ready to go, no matter
Absolutely.
what. Doesn't matter when it is.
Nope.
Even after walking up the. Well, no, you just said when you're walking up the stairs.
Up then doesn't matter. It's over and done with.
But I mean, so if I go to a Pit game and I throw a mic up in front of your face as we're walking up the steps, what am I going to get?
Heavy breathing. It's going to sound like an obscene phone call.
That's scary now. It's kind of freaking me out a little bit. Hey, I'll tell you what, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with Micah Frankel and CageMinds.com, and then we'll come back and maybe talk a little bit about high school football, a little bit about NFL football, and whatever else strikes our fancy.
No more heavy breathing.
No more heavy breathing. We'll be back right after this.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up!
That's why State Farm is there, with car insurance for when things go wrong, but also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Marty Size or Michelle Rudolph in Albuquerque today.
At Gala Chevrolet, our master technicians service every make and model no matter where you purchase your vehicle. But that's not all. We also provide certified service on every GM model. So if your car's been acting a little funny lately or something just doesn't seem right, don't wait. Bring it in to the most modern service facility in the entire state and let us make sure that you're driving a vehicle you and your family can depend on. Service done right the first time, every time, right here at the all-new Gala Chevrolet.
The Barley Room, proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
This is Coach Borrego of the Charlotte Hornets. Hello to all you parents out there in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I want to congratulate 38 years for the AYBL. You guys are doing a great job. You've shaped a lot of lives, young men and women, and you'll continue to do that. Parents, get involved, sign your kid up. It's a great program. It helped shape who I am today, helped shape me as a basketball player, as a coach. So get out there, sign them up. Have a great season. Good luck to everybody.
It's time to make your plans to be at New Mexico's premier annual sports event. The 13th annual New Mexico Bowl is Saturday, December 15th, high noon at Dreamstyle Stadium. I'm Jeff Symbieta, Executive Director of the New Mexico Bowl. Be with us as once again college football's bowl season kicks off right here in Albuquerque. Bring your friends, bring your colleagues, host your holiday party at the New Mexico Bowl. It's annually one of the most exciting games of college football's postseason. Bottom line, it's a whole lot of fun. Visit NewMexicoBowl.com or call 925-5999, the New Mexico Bowl, where bowl season begins.
Welcome to the place where we talk about people getting punched in the face. This is Caged Minds. I'm Micah Frankel. We had a lot that I told you was going on last weekend. Start off with telling you the 12-fight win streak for Bibiano Fernandez has ended. The new Unified 1 FC Bantamweight champion is Kevin Belong. That's a huge turn of events there in Asia, as Fernandez had been so dominant since going over there. You had LFA in Arizona on Friday night. Harvey Park dislocates a finger, wins the decision. Andrew Tennyson was dominant in victory. And Casey Kenny picks up the interim LFA flyweight champion with a wrestling decision over Brandon Royval, who just cannot finish the submissions that he was locking in. We also had Donald Cerrone with a huge armbar in the co-main event of the UFC event, finishing Mike Perry. Is there any end to the beef? Probably not. It just looks like it's continuing on social media. And in the main event, we had a fight fitting of being the 25th anniversary event, main event, as the Korean Zombie and Yair Rodriguez went to war, and it finishes at the buzzer right before it. Yair Rodriguez with a stunning elbow, the come from behind knockout victory, the most incredible knockout I've truly ever seen inside of the UFC octagon. An amazing moment for that historic event, and Rodriguez putting himself in a stellar position for an upcoming fight. Now, coming up this weekend, what you have to look forward to is Bellator 209 in Israel. You also have Invicta FC 32 on UFC Fight Pass. LFA 54 is in California. We have an interview up at CageMinds.com with Sadiya Parker from Fit and HB talking about his LFA debut. We also have One Championship, Warrior's Dream, going on this weekend. That's Saturday morning if you want to get up at 3 a.m. The welterweight title is on the line in the main event. Nikki Holtzkin versus Cosmo Alexander in the co-main event. One of the most spectacular kickboxing matchups that could be made just at all. It's going to be such a great fight. You also have Cage Warriors 99 during the day. So a lot of huge action. Saturday night, you have UFC Fight Night again, this time from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Neil Magny and Santiago Ponzinibbio, a welterweight main event. So a lot of action this weekend here locally at the sports complex at 5 Points. You have the State Silver Gloves amateur boxing going on. So it's a lot of combat sports here. Now, for us this week, we do have a guest, and I believe we have a little video to welcome him in. That video was courtesy of Julian Mendez. Thank you for that. Now he's here with us live. You just saw him. He is the genius Sherwin Price, the king of the cage, junior welterweight champion. Thanks for being here, sir.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on.
December 2nd, it's a Sunday fight. You're the main event. It's your first title defense. How you feeling?
Man, I feel fantastic. You know, it's what we train for. It's what I train for. So, you know, I can't wait to put on the show. You know, last show of the year for King of the Cage here in Albuquerque. So it's going to be great.
You were also in action the last time that King of the Cage was at the Star Center. Been on a roll, still undefeated as a professional. What has this experience, this momentum being 5-0 meant to you?
You know, the momentum and I think just the experience of being able to fight greater and greater competition is fantastic. You know, as being undefeated, it just, you know, just going to keep going, keep rolling on this train until it goes off the tracks. But for right now, you know, I don't foresee that happening. So
you captured the title at King of the Cage perennial, and you did so in spectacular fashion with a fancy, rarely completed submission in mixed martial arts, the omoplata. Can you tell us how you got that?
You know, the guy that was fighting is real long, his arms real long. He was throwing really, really long punches, and I just noticed that he was over punching a little bit. You know, caught him, swept him up, and you know, he tapped. So.
And for the people that don't know at home, the omoplata is a shoulder lock where you get the arm trapped behind and you have your legs crossed over, and it's very painful submission, but not one that has a high finishing rate, right?
Yeah, it's not one that people typically give you. So, I mean, I was happy with it. I mean, I figured if he didn't tap to that, he was going to tap to something else. So.
Were you surprised that you got an omoplata, that you were able to get that kind of finish? Were you surprised?
Yeah, really. Really use an omoplata to maybe sweep somebody or to move them out the way. It's not typically something that you catch in MMA very often. So yeah, I was happy with it. It wasn't something I expected, but like I said, it was just the game plan. He was gonna, if he didn't follow that, he was gonna fall to something. So.
And adding to the championship lineage at Fit and HB, I don't know how many King of the Cage champions you guys have had, also numerous other promotions. What does that mean to you? We talked about it before the fight, what it would mean, but how did it feel afterwards adding to that?
It's cool. You kind of get to step on that pedestal for a minute and get added to the, some of the lineage. It's just great to be able to bring that back to the gym after all of the time that my coaches spend with me, and after, all of the effort that they expend on our team as a whole. To be able to kind of bring that back to the gym is fantastic.
And then a little bit about you. A martial artist for how long?
I don't know, I guess it's been like 10 years now. I guess I never really thought about it. Yeah, it's almost 10 years.
Why martial arts? What attracted you? What got you started?
I don't know. I think in conquering my fears, I think most people are afraid of other human beings. It hinders them in life a lot. If you face that one fear, then you don't really have too much to fear.
When you started martial arts, did you have these expectations of competition, of becoming a fighter per se?
Not at all. I kind of got in this just as, hey, let's go test your skill type of thing. And then it just grew on me. You punch one person, you get punched in the face a couple times, and you start getting addicted to having that feeling. So that's just something that grew on me.
And as we said, standing here as champion, when did a professional bout, did that even something that was really a thought or a goal of yours, or again, something that just kind of happened?
No, I think it was just something that happened. I think I told my coaches before this, you just keep lining them up and I'll keep knocking them down. So this is just the natural progression of things. If they keep lining them up, I'll keep trying to knock them down, and that'll be it.
And I know, unlike a lot of guys, you have a day job. Tell us about your reasons for competing, for doing this, for getting into such a brutal competitive sport.
I do this because I love it. It's like I said, it's something that's grown on me. It's something that fulfills my life. It keeps me active, and I get to test. I get to on a daily basis test myself in ways that most people don't test themselves. So it keeps me coming back.
With having already done the omoplata, one spectacular finish, do you have any other maneuvers, strikes, any kind of knockout, something that you've seen before somewhere that you'd be like, man, I'd love to pull this off before I'm done?
I would just love to stand and strike with people. For some reason, I have a really high rate of submission victories, but it's not necessarily my wheelhouse. It just kind of, people end up giving me those things. So I'd like to showcase some other things, and I think I've said this before. I'd like to showcase some other skills that I do possess, and some of the other skills we've been working on. So any of those other things I have kind of in my toolbox, I'd like to show off.
Coming up on the second, the opponent, the guy coming to challenge you for your belt, Nick Angeloni, believe heard a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So what kind of fight are you preparing for?
We prepare for everything for it to go anywhere. So at Fit, we're all around fighters. We practice striking, grappling, everything. So anywhere he's willing to take it, I'm willing to go. So I'm not really too afraid of any of the arenas of fighting. So anywhere it goes, I'm ready.
From what you've watched of him, do you have any expectations of what you kind of believe he's going to want to do?
I figure he's probably going to try to take me down. I don't think he's going to try to strike with me very much. So I figure he's probably going to try to take me down, try to submit me or grind me out in some type of way. But I don't really foresee that being that successful of a game plan. So.
What keys to victory do you have?
I just got to stay moving. Stay away from any takedown attempts he has. Use combinations, head movement, and I think I'll be victorious.
King of the Cage, Starbound 2, Sunday, a special start time, 3 in the afternoon for the doors. Fights start at 4. Join us at the Santa Ana Star Center. There's fights Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, December 30th, or November 30th, December 1st, December 2nd. So get out and see some local fights. There'll be more Red Menace TV in just a moment.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog! Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at Proview Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club, or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up!
That's why State Farm is there, with car insurance for when things go wrong, but also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Marty Size or Michelle Rudolph in Albuquerque today.
Gala Chevrolet, our master technicians service every make and model no matter where you purchase your vehicle. But that's not all. We also provide certified service on every GM model. So if your car's been acting a little funny lately or something just doesn't seem right, don't wait. Bring it into the most modern service facility in the entire state and let us make sure that you're driving a vehicle you and your family can depend on. Service done right the first time, every time, right here at the all-new Gala Chevrolet.
The Barley Room, a proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
This is Coach Borrego of the Charlotte Hornets. Hello to all you parents out there in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I want to congratulate 38 years for the AYBL. You guys are doing a great job. You've shaped a lot of lives, young men and women, and you'll continue to do that. Parents, get involved, sign your kid up. It's a great program. It helped shape who I am today, helped shape me as a basketball player, as a coach. So get out there, sign them up. Have a great season. Good luck to everybody.
Hey, welcome back to Red Menace TV here on Proview Networks. As we close out this week's show, I did want to mention that, of course, Friday night, not only is the Lobo football team playing, if you want to stay at home and watch that or actually wander down to Dream Style Stadium to go check that out, but also on the NFHS network, our own guys here from Proview will be broadcasting these 4 games. Manzano plays at Cleveland. Las Cruces plays at La Cueva. Cibola is at Volcano Vista. I don't know why they put the Cibola at Volcano Vista. They both play in the same 3 stadiums, so, you know. And then Belen's at Los Lunas as the playoffs.
One team has to be the home team, one team has to be the visitor.
I guess, and I guess, I don't know. I haven't been in the locker rooms there, so I guess it's just where they put the blow-up things that they run through, the tunnels.
Yeah. And, you know, it could come in handy, so, like with the news that the Monday Night Football game this week that was supposed to be in Mexico City with the Rams and Chiefs. The Rams were the home team, so the game gets canceled. It's now being played at L.A.
Yeah,
so,
how does that work? Right?
Because they were the home team.
They were the home. Oh, I see.
This is,
so if they cancel the game at Community Stadium and they go to Milne,
well, exactly.
Then it's like you were the home team at Community. You're the home team now at Milne.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Not really, but
it sounds good. It does sound good. Yeah. By the way, they did cancel that game. Did you see the pictures of the stadium? I mean, what
the field was horrible, and you have to take into account player safety. Arguably, and I know the Saints beat the Rams a couple of weeks ago, but you can make the argument that these are the best teams in their respective conferences.
Yes.
And the last thing you need is for a star player, or any player, but a star player to go down with an injury because of poor field conditions. So you make the decision to move the game. Actually, little known, so like even with like the London games, you designate a home team and a visitor.
Yeah.
The home team has to keep their stadium available that date in case for any reason the game can't be played.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So that, you know, first time it's come into play, but yes, so since the game's not being played in Mexico City now.
So you said those
the
are
Rams
the 2 good
become
games. So if it was like, say, the Browns versus the Raiders.
They'd probably just let them
play. Yeah, just let them play.
What's the worst thing can happen? Right.
It's like, he'll just trade him away anyway, so
exactly.
It doesn't matter. You know. By the way, they're calling him the $10 million bust now, Gruden.
It hasn't even been a season. And look, I'm not a Raiders fan, so I'm not going to defend them. But they're playing for 2 years from now when they move to Vegas. So will all these moves, all these draft picks they're accruing, will that pay off? We'll find out in a couple of years.
So here's the conspiracy theorist in me.
Okay.
Do you think they're just trying to suck so that way the people of Oakland won't be like so hurt when they leave?
Well, no, it's not that, but they want to make a splash when they get to Vegas. When they get to Vegas.
Right.
And so you're playing to be good then, and not really so much now.
How about your Redskins? Still in first place. Cowboys, I thought they weren't going to win another game. They ended up winning, beating the Philadelphia Eagles. How bad are they?
They've got problems. You know what? The NFL, though, I mean, you know, just this past weekend, you talked about the Cowboys beating the Eagles. The Titans embarrassed the Patriots.
Yes, they did.
You know, the Falcons, who looked like they are finally on the right track, they lose in horrific fashion to the Browns.
That's because the
NFL's
coaches.
Crazy, man.
That's all it was.
Well, no, because they lost their first game with a new coach. So it's more than that.
Give them a week to prepare. He was playing for the next week, kind of like the Raiders are playing for 2 seasons from now. With that, we'll be playing for next week. For Michael Carlisle and for that guy that kind of looks like Alden but with shorter hair, this is Leroy Lucero. We'll see you next week on Red Menace TV. God bless you.